What's up? 23rd round right here. Favorite pick of the entire draft coming up. I'm a big gladiator player, so I almost always draft in DC like a gladiator up into these first 23 rounds. Um, some picks have been made since I made my last pick of Zebby Matthews. I went away from Colt Keith there. Super glad I did. Laughing at myself for doing it and not doing it. One of those things, just good baseball stuff. After my pick of Zebby Matthews was Lourdes Gurriel. Man, I'm a big Lourdes guy, but I don't know how many games he's going to get this year. Sosa, early adopter, he's going to have it down. They're not. Munetake Murakami is said to have a good first baseman glove. Nunez, I'm not on him. Josh Smith. These are all good picks. This is a get your guys league. So all of these picks are being made because these managers know how to play these guys with their team. So I'm not familiar exactly with their intricate team builds, but I see how all those picks there and closing out the 22nd can be used in team build situations. Gurriel, I will say, a second half player is valuable in a DC, a guy that you know is going to come back and not have mileage on him in the first half, might be injured because of that, but might have some good. Anyway, Mezek, Austin Hayes, Meadroth, there was a player I would have loved to take in there. I think I said out loud. I think I talked about it a little bit too much out loud there. Did that to myself. And Castellanos. Man, team four, your outfield, Jackson Merrill, Jose Altuve, Jason Dominguez, Carson Wang, Gurriel, and Castellanos. Well, that is an outfield. That is what you count them. There are 6 outfielders there. So hopefully, and you got Simeon, so you're not playing Altuve at second, or maybe you're playing him, maybe you're playing Simeon at MI. Anyway, good picks there. Can't really. Those are all value picks. We're getting to the point where it's more than get you guys. It's make sure you get a tiny bit of value here. So let's go ahead back to my value finding tool, which is this right here. Now we'll be able to find some values. Here's my team is currently composed. So I have all my starters. I need a utility player to finish out my bats, but that's not a big deal because it could be really any utility player. So I'm not really complaining about it. I made myself take Zebby Matthews there, and I have 2 comparable relievers. Relievables of a good pair. So let me put in these last picks that have been made. I had some of them in. You can see I had Hayes in there. And then who to go? Meadroth and then Castellanos. So Chase Meadroth. Good pick. And Nick Castellanos. I guess I can get my guy Colt Keith now. I guess I can get all happy and get my guy Colt Keith. I got to stay strong. I got to stay off the Colt Keith, man. I'm off the Colt Keith wagon right now. So there they go. Here is my board right there. Recent trends. Well, I have this drafted players, and this will show you the recent trends of. These are the last players drafted. Here at the end, it'll show you where they've been drafted in terms of plus or minus ADP and pick value. So curious relief pitchers are just getting crushed, but this draft just crushed relief pitchers. I was wondering about where the recent SPs have gone, and see they started to get back to value there. See, these last ones have been value picks. It was out of proportion there for a minute, but we're back into value. They can never have too many outfielders. Let's take a look at the outfielders, how those trends have been going as of late. Pretty even. Outfielders are showing even across the board on plus minus. Lately, people have been going to get outfielders. Gurriel, Hayes, and Castellanos show as round reaches. But like I said, if that fits your team, if you got the hometown radio, those are picks that are good picks. But just in terms of trending that. So that's why I put into, I did another couple measurements and I made another new calculation that's called taken over ADP. So now I understand in terms of, I'm not an ADP drafter, but I'm not a smart baseball guy, so I know that's the guardrail, so I pay attention to the guardrail. It's like you have to, sometimes you have to do that. So that's my thing here, is I'm paying attention to the guardrail. Let me set this to filter these players out. Actually, show the toolbar real fast, and I will set this to filter these guys. Filter them, boom. So now we'll only show the remaining players. Where is that high toolbar? They moved it. This new, I will say the new, whatchamacallit is pretty good. The new numbers is pretty good. So I'm an advocate of that. That's a little bug right there they need to work out. You guys just saw that. Okay, so here's the remaining players. Remaining players left at pick number for me, 335. And like I said, I'm fully balanced as a team in terms of where we're at in the standings. Let's come down here and look at that. So team 5, if they lead, where's the finish now? Total, I would be in 4th. Total would have me in 4th. Let's see the average total, which is the more sought after. I would be in 1st. So average total, I would be in 1st, and it makes my home runs not look so bad. But where I am weak at again is home runs and average, of course, there. And so, like I said, here's my depth chart. I don't really have any screaming need of acquisition. Of course, you want to get more backups at all these, but I'm looking all right there. It's pretty much best available to me here. I will go ahead and just say this is the time when I've gotten the best available, 23rd round, which is that's good gladiating. I was trying to get to Soriano here. He has been taken. So now there are some other players here. Is it Colt Keith? Jeez, I got back to him, huh? I'm looking at the at-bats, and I'm looking for home. I need home runs and average, and I said that's why to take Colt Keith before. I just got my other pitcher. Jeez, the other guy to think about here maybe is Will Best. I'm not sure of the closing situation out there in DET, but I know it's been fluid out there in the past, and he got some all years in front of him. You might want to, the guy in front of him might, plus they went and got Finnegan, so it's probably not Best. He's looked both good and bad in equally amount of time and opportunity. Yeah, there's Finnegan down there. Finnegan, yeah, they're not gonna go with these guys. They'll go with Kenley. So that's probably what they're gonna do. Also down here, I'm looking for power. Vientos is down there. Westberg is down there. I believe I already have 3 third basemen. Let me double check. No, I have 2 third basemen already. My third baseman I got taken in this last round. I don't know if you guys talked about it. I was on stream with my homie Spencer the other day, and he got this guy. He got him much later on a value. He actually went right after my Zebby Matthews pick. That was a guy I'm looking for. Was looking to get. I would have liked to get here, Josh Young. People are listening to what I'm saying. I don't like that no more. Let's see. I need bat. I need home runs and average. I already have a 6th outfielder, and he plays. Colt Keith is mid-in. That means I could always put backup Otto Lopez if I have to. Colt Keith can play mid-in, and then I could play. He could also play corner, so I could put Castro at OF. I could put Colt Keith there. I mean, it gives me flexibility. There's Turang, there's Otto Lopez. So Otto Lopez then could always be ready to play shortstop, and Castro could always be ready to play outfield. And then Colt Keith would be... I mean, is there a way I just take another arm here and just get away from bat and just go heavy arm? That's what I think. That's what I think the homie would be telling me to do. I tried to MacGuffin you guys with those Bryce Miller talk. I don't really want Bryce Miller. I don't want anybody who's not going to get a bunch of starts right here. But you guys need pitcher. Despite the fact that all these pitchers are drafted up, despite the fact that 11 pitchers have been taken over ADP, you're still 5 pitchers behind on your pacing. And expected this round is 8 pitchers to be taken in this round by my casual scouting. So that's what it's kind of showing, that there's going to be 8 pitchers taken here coming up. Man, Chase Meadroth would have been the dude right there. I have passed on Colt Keith for Brooks Lee in the past. That might be the actual move right here to get that shortstop, but I'm a Colt Keith believer. There's Zach McKinstry there. People are talking about Dylan Beaver's upside. That could be an actual play that I know very little about. They're talking about Tyler O'Neill will never get another at-bat again. No, they're not saying that, but they're talking about some at-bats will be given to this cat. This is another tough one, man. I probably should just go up on arm here. But then it's 20 picks till I get back. So if I went up on arm there, my next pick would be 360. My batters would be in the 360 range. And I don't like any of those batters down there in 360s. I got to take another batter now. There's actually some good batters down here. What's that? Ooh, I see some ideas. 360. Okay, all right, let's see. My one after that will actually be a little slightly different pick than that. It would be pick number 356. It's a little incongruous auction action there. 356 would be my next pick, so I'd be down into here into guys I do not even like in terms of trying to get bats. So maybe I get bat here. Maybe I get Ed Ucita here and just think he's going to get something. Why don't I just get my bat? Colt Keith, Dylan Beavers, Colt Keith, predictable, good team, Brooks Lee, not good team. Maybe more upside. Well, I've gone away from Keith and taken Brooks Lee in the past. Maybe I should do that here. Let me just do one little piece. Y'all know I'm against outside diligence. Let me just understand a little bit more about the nuances of Brooks Lee. A little bit of maybe just don't have any MIN players really on my radar at all, or really been drafted, don't understand MIN at all. See, he's way down there at the bottom, so that's probably I'm probably gonna be off him now because there's not juice here. So as soon as I see that this is gonna make me go buy a Tigers hat. Again, it's going to make me do it. My first player, I got Skubal, so I got to hope that this dude is getting base hits from. There he is. They got my man platooning. Who's he platooning with? Javi Baez and Matt Vreeling. They don't want that action. Those guys are going to play in the outfield anyway. Coltis Keithis, how many games? See, there's a 120 game threshold that really is the lowest possible you can get here. Man, there's not really a lot of other players here who will get. Oh, man, it's hard. God, I'm gonna have to go Colt Keith. I'm actually gonna have to go back to Colt Keith here. I just don't see another. I don't see any average. I don't see 20 counters anywhere else. I don't even see 400 at bats anywhere else. I'm going to go ahead and just draft Colt Keith. People would say Westberg second half of the season. People say Brooks Lee. I'm not doing that. He's hitting 9th. Colt Keith, when he hits, he's going to hit. I'm going to do it. It's what I've been saying all year. Go ahead. Go ahead. Laugh about it. Oh, you know what? Historical event. Let's put it up. Historic event. Let's put it up. Let's do it. I'm gonna make a little all-time greatest player. Let's go. You guys ready? I'm stoked. Let's do it. And he is drafted. Did it. Got Zebby Matthews and Colt Keith to finish out the gladiator section of this DC. I'm going to have to say that that's great. Everybody going to laugh at my Colt Keith there. Look, people realistically could be like, Jay, what are you really doing here? Right? But I got Ashcraft, Vodnik, Naylor, Zebby Matthews, and Colt Keith. I think at the end of the year, the usable stuff, even though it's dirty, is not clean. I think if you use this, I think it's juice. I think if you let it dwindle and just be on your roster, I think you can get hurt. But I think if you use it, it can be juice. So there's some more connectors I'm looking for. I got to say I'm really happy about the flexibility that Colt Keith gives my team. And I think that that's going to hurt other people by not having that flexibility. That's another thing I'm thinking about now. The only flexible players left are below Colt Keith. That would be, well, I put Brooks Lee below Colt Keith. I put Jonathan India below Colt Keith. And everybody put Zach McKinstry below Colt Keith. So I think that was the right terms in front of flexibility. Anyway, I really like that pick, and I will be getting back to my next pick here in the 24th round in about 19 picks. So yeah, Colt Keith Truthers here, country singer. I don't even listen to country music, but if he put out a record, I would buy it. All right, peace.